He owned 7 companies. He still needed permission to leave. His empire ran perfectly. He needed permission to leave. 1. He owned 7 companies. He still needed permission to leave. The strange thing was this: he could no longer remember who he was asking. Not his investors, not his board, not his employees. Every year his companies grew. Every year leaving became harder. People called this success. He wasn't sure anymore. 2. The morning began before he chose it. A notification, then another. A name he recognized, someone who needed a decision, and the day had already started without his consent. He dressed in the dark. His name appeared in magazines. His face was familiar to people who had never met him. His companies employed thousands. He had a 700 a.m. call. They needed him. Not his thinking. Just his approval. He gave it. The next meeting had already sent a reminder. He noticed something, not quite a feeling, more like a shape. The shape of a day that had been filled before he arrived in it. He dismissed it. There was work to do. 3. By the second meeting, something had changed. He couldn't name it yet, but he felt it the way you feel weather before it arrives. The room was prepared. A team had worked for months. Numbers were impressive. A market in Eastern Europe. They needed one thing: his signature. They needed him, but only the version of him that said yes. He said yes. Someone thanked him. Someone else was already scheduling the follow-up. He thought, I could be replaced by a stamp. He did not say this out loud. 4. He opened his calendar and searched forward. Not for a meeting. Not for a deadline. He was looking for a gap. An afternoon. A single hour in the architecture of obligation where nothing had been placed. 1 week, nothing. 3 weeks, nothing. 7 weeks. One empty Tuesday afternoon. He stared at it. It had already been flagged. His assistant had marked it potential investor call, confirm Thursday. He could reschedule meetings. He could not reschedule years. He closed the laptop. He sat in the dark. He realized he had not sat quietly in a room without a purpose for longer than he could remember. The silence felt like somewhere he used to live. 5. That night he tried to disappear. Not dramatically. No announcement. No plan. He simply wanted one afternoon free, unscheduled, belonging to no one. He blocked it in the calendar. 12 hours later, 3 people had already requested that slot. He unblocked it. Approved the requests. This had happened before. He thought about when it started this process of becoming necessary. He had wanted to matter. He had built systems to ensure he mattered. The systems had worked perfectly. Now the systems needed him every hour of every day, and there was no longer a version of him that the systems did not require. He had not built an empire. He had built an automated master, and the master was never satisfied. 6. There was a man who ran the building's mailroom. He had worked there for 19 years. He left at 5:30 without exception. He took 3 weeks of vacation every summer, always the same lake, always the same cabin, always the same quiet. He was not wealthy. He was not ambitious. Once in the elevator, he told the CEO that he had attended every one of his children's school performances. Every single one. The CEO nodded. He thought it was a small life. He was not wealthy. He was not ambitious. He owned his Tuesdays. 7. There is a story we tell about freedom. It goes work hard. Build something, earn your independence, and then finally, you will be free. The story is not wrong. It is missing one word. It does not say what independence is made of. It does not say that every structure you build will make demands, that every empire requires an emperor who shows up, that the cage you construct to carry you will, in time, require you to carry it. He had not been trapped by failure. He had been trapped by success, slowly, quietly, the way a city grows around a tree until the tree cannot tell where it ends and the concrete begins. He built the cage himself. He called it an empire. 8. That night he came home late. His wife was asleep. His children were asleep. He sat in the kitchen with the lights off. He thought about the mailroom man, the lake, the cabin, the Tuesdays. He thought about what he would say if someone asked him, "Are you free?" He had always assumed the answer was yes. He was less certain now. The rich have assets. The truly free have empty hours. He was the owner of 7 companies. He was not the owner of a Tuesday. 9. This story does not end with a resignation. He did not sell the companies. He did not find the lake. He did not walk away. The story ends in a kitchen, in the dark, with a man sitting quietly. Not because he chose the quiet, but because there was nothing scheduled for the next 4 minutes. And his body did not know what else to do, because the question is not really about him. It is about what we build to carry us, and what it costs when the building is done. It is about the difference between owning something and being owned by it. It is about the moment you realize the two might be the same thing. What part of your life still requires permission? Which invisible owner has taken the most from you? Look at your calendar or look at your screen.